Hello and welcome to the 12th 46 Elks Tech Talk. I'm Rene and with me is Rupus. Hi.
Hi.
Hello. So, today we would like to talk about the minimalism in applications. So, I think that everyone kind of felt what we are going to talk about, and that is all the apps that all of the businesses want you to install. So it's becoming quite a challenge to kind of figure out what is exactly necessary to keep on your phone and what is not. And yeah, that that is what we're going to try to cover today. So, uh, Rupus, what are your thoughts on keeping your phone packed with apps? What are your concerns regarding all of that?
I do have more apps than I'd like, though. I think I was going to say I use most of them, but that's probably not true. I actually have lots of apps that I feel like, oh, this would be good to have some time. Um, Most of them are like open source apps from Android, though, not from the Google Play Store. Um, but yeah, if it can be a web page or some other thing that I already have, that's good.
Yeah, it's I always worry about the. So I have kids, and kids have. So when you give up the phone to kids, because eventually you will, to keep them peaceful, at least for a
Mm.
15 minute period, then they will hop on and start installing a lot of things. And you get the phone back, and you realize that you have 4 or 5 games and an app installed. Okay, there are things that you can do to prevent that, but it kind of shows that you actually have a lot of apps that you don't quite know what they do and how much did they access, how much
Mm.
of your private data, galleries, pictures, contacts, etc. So I kind of feel sometimes that my phone and all of its data is actually a free playground for a lot of companies. And this is my main concern about having a bunch of apps on my phone, kind of privacy related and feeling safe in that environment. Uh, what do you think, Rupus? Is that not a? Is that? Am I addressing a good concern? Is something safe when it's on a Play Store or not? What are your thoughts?
I think most apps now they have to ask for permission to read some of the data you have on your phone, like contact details and stuff like that. But most of them also have a very good reason to actually read that as well. Like yeah, it's easier to find your friends when you let it access your contact book. Then it's able to read your contact book and sell or uh, big data all your contacts, and also they suddenly know all of your contacts' phone numbers, not just yours. Um, so yeah, and I think many apps do this. That they have some benign reason to read your contacts or read your text messages or stuff like that, but they will also do other things with it that you probably don't want them to do.
Yeah, it's always a struggle between new features and things that you want to do to kind of make your life easier versus privacy.
Yeah,
It's always a struggle.
yeah, that's probably like the reason for privacy issues is like yeah, but it's convenient,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah, it's convenient to have an Alexa or something like that in your home, but you have to sometimes worry about the consequences. But
mm,
most of us turn the blind eye on it and kind of trust the whole thing. Uh, I wanted to kind of reflect on apps being very actually expensive to maintain. I think that most small or medium-sized businesses don't actually realize that once you make an app, that is just the beginning. You have to make it for Android, iOS. You have to make it compatible for different versions of it. You have to be aligned with some things for it to work. So things are constantly changing. You will have to pay a maintenance fee for it to work. So I'm not trying to kind of bash the whole make an application, but I'm just trying to appeal to everyone, the business owners and the developers, to perhaps think about some testing periods, about doing something else first and see if it works. So, what are your thoughts? What do you think? Is it a good thing to kind of perhaps you could lay out an application how it looks, but start out slow? I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I think you have to really think about if an application is right for your use case or the use case of your users. Um, most most businesses only need a website or a web app or something like that. Most don't actually need an app, uh, though I can see that an app is probably very nice for the business to have because it means that they have a program on the customer's phone doesn't that can go run in the background and it's always there. While a web page, the customer has to actively go there and start the application when they want to.
Yeah,
Um, but
it's
yeah,
it.
apps are expensive, uh, difficult to maintain. While I mean, web apps are pretty much small apps on a common operating system, the web browser.
Yeah, we have a tendency to block push notifications, but you don't have a tendency to disconnect the doorbell, as you say. You don't have a tendency to kind of shut down the SMS or the calls. So perhaps people should wonder on doing things a bit differently in the start, at least, and see based on the users they are tailoring and helping, see the reaction, because it really doesn't make sense to kind of have a once in a year communication and making an app. So if you have we all have deliveries from different companies in the world, but we don't have the urge to install their app, because we would have 5 or 6 apps just for those 4 or 5 or 6 delivery companies. So yeah, we still use messaging there or SMS there. So just kind of keep a thought in everyone's mind to kind of not rush into that high cost and obligation thing, because you will have to promote that application. You will have to have QR codes, which have become very popular in the recent days because of all of the wrong reasons, but they became popular. And you will have to use all of those things to promote your app for people to install it and to keep it on their phones. And yeah, it's a challenge. But if you have a person's number, all you need is a person's number. And I think that most of the businesses, I don't know, dentists have a, you have to have a person's number to in order to reach them out if a appointment is canceled. So you have a person's number, but and you can use it in a different way, so you don't have to build an app for it. Yeah, um, I'm trying to keep it. My phone is, I think, cluttered free, but at the same time, I think that we should address it being more clean and more less apps should run it on it. But yeah, it's a time and age we live in right now, so it's quite different. Yeah. So if anyone has, this is a live stream. If anyone has any questions or would like to add, comment something, feel free. You can comment later on, because we will keep track of this video and comment if you leave a comment or a question. So yeah, is there anything you would like to add, Rupus, on the whole thing?
I think there are some cases where apps are actually better. Like if you have a very complicated application, uh, it's better not to use a web app. I would rather have a good app than a bad web app, which I have to use.
Mhm.
So uh,
Yeah.
yeah, you have to think about like what's the pros and cons, uh, and do the pros of an app for the customer outweigh the cons of having to have it installed. And yeah.
Yeah, I think that importance of apps and having apps on the phone is very, I would say, Western centric and EU centric, because not all of the world has good mobile coverage. Most of the world doesn't even have good GSM coverage. So that small bit of information that travels and gets, actually it's not, but yeah, it travels to your phone and gets delivered to your phone via SMS. So it's quite important to have that means of communication, and everyone that is building something should be aware of it also. So yeah, I've heard of cases where people actually built applications based on the backup link was actually SMS. So you could have an application go into offline mode because it doesn't have any mobile connection around it, but it has GSM, and it will actually SMS will travel and send the most crucial data
Hmm.
to the application and the things needed. I think it was used in some when some medications were delivered, but so it was quite important to keep the communication flowing and keep the person using the app unaware of the missing mobile connection. And it could be the both of worlds. You can kind of make a hybrid of it, and we just wanted to kind of encourage everyone to have it in the back of their minds. So that was pretty much it. Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks everyone for chipping in and joining in. I see that we have some viewers, but yeah, feel free to comment. Feel free to leave a question if you have some, and that's pretty much it. Happy Friday. Have a nice weekend, everyone. Bye.
Bye.